Welcome to Wildcat Sports Update. I'm your host, Jim Boyle, and in studio today, I have the man behind Shiv Shot It, Shivam Purohit, with me in studio, and it's a pleasure to have you in studio, Shivam, and it's great to have the original Shiv Shot It, and I love having the non-athlete in on Wildcat Sports Update. How did you get involved with what you do?
So I think my first ever job was at the high school. I walked onto the football field, got a camera from our teacher, Mr. Fianti, and I talked to Mr. Ingram. He gave me a pass for my first ever time, and I just started taking photos on the field, trying videos of the football games. They did not come out at all well, but I kept on trying and progressing, and by the end of football season, I felt so much better. But I just started because I'm not that good of an athlete, I'll be honest here, but I really wanted to stay in touch with athletics somehow. So junior year of high school, I picked it up around fall and I just got started then.
Okay, so who you mentioned Mr. Fiante and A.D. Ingram. Were they influential, and how did they help you to get to this point?
Definitely. So Mr. Fiante, after one of my school days, I walked down to his classroom. He helped me set up a camera. Might have been the most important day that year because that started my whole shift shot career. He helped me with the camera, and then I walked onto the football field that night. Mr. Ingram got me all set up, told me where to go, where not to go. He gave me a pass, and I felt kind of honored that it was so easy to do that, but I didn't realize that it came with such a privilege and duty to a sense.
Okay, so now what classes have you taken photo classes at the high school, and what are they?
So currently I'm a senior in the fall season of school, and I have not taken a single photo class my whole career.
Okay, so you are an impressive young man, and that if I had to do something like that, I'd want to prepare. What have you learned about photography that all of a sudden you think, wow, that's amazing. This is how this works.
So when I thought of photography, I thought you just pick up the camera, hit the button, and boom, camera, and edit it later. But I didn't realize that there's so many different types of aspects. I won't go into naming all of them, but there's different ones for lighting, for color, for shadow, for the frame rate, basically. So I really underestimated how much went into it, and that's why originally my photos had been pretty low quality.
Okay, well, everyone has to start somewhere,
Yes.
and I mean, you have become the photographer for the high school. That means you get to go to the games. It means you get to go on bus rides sometimes as well, correct? Yes. What are the bus rides like for you as the photographer? And how many bus rides have you gotten to go on to go to away games?
So first ever bus ride, I believe, was to Saugus. Yeah, to Saugus when the boys hockey team was playing Melrose. And it was a late night game, like a 7 p.m. start time. So I asked Mr. Ingram, hey, would it be okay if I could take the bus with the team to the game? Because at that time I couldn't drive, and I didn't want my mother to drive me all the way to Saugus. So I asked him, he asked the coach, and all went well. I went on the bus. Beforehand, it was really nice. Everyone had headphones on, trying to get ready for game day. And then after that, sweaty, smelly, anything you can think of was there. It was horrible, but I really enjoyed it because we came out with a win that night, and everyone was happy. Team dinner afterwards, I got invited, so I really enjoyed it.
What was your favorite? That's your first one.
Yes.
Did you have a favorite one other than that? That because it was your first. What team did you really enjoy busing with?
Now that I think of it, that might actually be my favorite one because it's first ever experience, really good first experience. Then after that, I might have taken the bus again with the hockey team. I can't really recall, but yes, I did, but I forget exactly which game. But I remember, although we did win that game as well, this Saugus game was probably the best.
That's good. So, as the official photographer of Wilmington High School athletics,
Yes.
what do you cover every sport, or is this there's like 39 different sports? Have you covered every sport? And if you have, what's your impression of the athletes that you're covering and the coaches?
So, I try to go to every single sport, every single game that I can. I usually stick to varsity until maybe a JV player says, hey, Shivy, do you think you could come down to one of our games? And then I'll go to a JV game. But other than that, I stick to varsity games. Picked it up last year during the fall, was pretty bad during fall. Started to do it in winter really well, enjoyed it, loved it. Spring, I was probably the best last year. Now again, here in fall, I'm really enjoying it. And as for impression of the athletes, I think on the field, on the court, on the ice, wherever you are, you'll see a lot of leadership. You'll see a lot of love between the players, and you also see a bit of hatred when it comes to failed plays and let up goals. But in the end, they all walk off as one team, and it's really inspirational, I would say, because it shows that they can bond.
So as the photographer, do you feel you seem to be very accepted by the student body? So you're on the field like that. Are they score a touchdown, or they score a goal, or hit a big shot? Are they looking at you, seeing if you got the shot, or and all of a sudden are they putting a lot of pressure on you in that way?
Yeah, so I really enjoy those moments, high atmosphere, great electric atmosphere, but I'm really looking to see if that player scores during the celebration, will they come over to me? That's the biggest thing I want. And when they don't, kind of hurts me inside. But I look for that. And as for being accepted by the students, I really feel like I kind of made an impact in the school in a way. I try not to like boost my ego, but I kind of feel like I have made an impact because people are starting to really appreciate athletics. The poor performing sports and the well performing sports, they're widely appreciated now, and mandatory attendance every single game. I'm not trying to be corny about it, but it kind of warms my heart to see that the students are just showing love to everyone else. So
That's a really nice thing. So one thing I remember, one of the games I went to, I've been to a lot of the games. One of the indoor games, I'd been to a girls volleyball game.
yes.
Not only were you taking pictures, but you were like the ringleader of the student section. And is that something that has grown out of this? Were you an introvert beforehand? Were you hiding in the back of it? You were really phenomenal how you did that. How did that come about?
So early years of high school, I would always get rowdy in the student section, losing, winning. As a freshman, as a sophomore, puny underclassman, I always loved just getting rowdy with the student section because it connected everyone on a late Friday night after school. And after that, I kind of picked it up senior year. I really started to lead the student section with the other like leaders of the student section. I really enjoyed it because I have a voice. It feels really good to use it sometimes. So just watching everyone say, "Let's go Wildcats," and give it the 4 big claps, or I don't know how many claps, but yeah, give the claps after it.
I think it's 5.
5 claps, yes.
Is it dun, 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 dun? Yeah. 5.
Let's go Wildcats. Yeah, 5 claps. I really love seeing it because everyone's seeing like, hey, there's Shiv. He's leading the student section, and not just that, but everyone's taking part in it. So like unites them in a sense. And for that, sorry, real quick, for that volleyball game, a couple friends and I had attended the games, very close losses, hard fought games for the team. So we were kind of angry that, hey, we keep on losing. Everyone here is getting really upset, and everyone here is excited for the game. So we rallied a student section. We got a theme. We got Wildcat points. We made a graphic for it, and the turnout was amazing.
Right, and I credit to you because you were really in the student section as well as taking pictures. 2 questions before we look at some of the pictures that he's brought that I want to show people some of the work that Shiv's done. First of all, what's the easiest sport to photograph, or whatever the word is, and what's the hardest sport to take a photo?
So easiest for me, I would say, is kind of a tie between the 3 of hockey, because I started off with it and it was widely accepted. Lacrosse, because you're scoring like every 2 seconds, so it's like so easy to get photos and it's really enjoyable. And then the other one would be football, because anything you get, someone walking off, someone standing, someone in a huddle, phenomenal catch, anything, there's always like a meaning behind the photo. So anything you take in football, it means a lot. So
And the toughest one you do?
maybe track, due to like restraints of how you can get a photo, where you can get it, or maybe golf, because you have to be silent and you also don't want to get hit in the head. So
Right, and Shiv drove around with me one of the golf matches to try to get pictures and avoiding balls that are flying at you. I agree with you on that. So I know that you brought a couple of pictures in for us that we can talk about. I think we have like 8 right now. So first picture, Shiv, and you can. He's got it on his phone. We're going to show these online as he's talking. This first one is the Mike Otis shot to win the ball game. What do you got there?
So Mikey Otis, graduated senior of the class of 2024, basketball game at home versus Winchester, I believe.
Yes, it was Winchester.
The team was down by double digits, and he hits back to back to back 3 big threes to cut down the lead. The student section's getting amazingly hype. Same with the parents. The bench is getting crazy, and then all you see is 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, and after that, Winchester, they're rattled. They call a timeout, and then Mikey Otis, he roars to the crowd, and probably still might be my best photo in all like less than a year I've taken photos.
All right, the next photo that you have for me is we're hockey here. No, football. After the coin toss, coming off the field to meet with their teammates.
Yes, so I believe that's the first regular season game for football this year versus North Reading at home. I really enjoyed it because first ever football game, feeling like the man with the camera. It was really my year. So Kyle Gabry and Connor Level, Captain Connor Level, and fellow captains, they finish the coin toss. They run back to the huddle to jump with the team, and Connor and Kyle, they jump into each other, and the lighting might just be perfect, and I get a really good shot of the two friends together.
Did you know the lighting was going to be perfect? Were you set for that, or was it just dumb luck?
Dumb luck, I'd say, and then...
That's part of photography.
Yeah.
All right, the next picture you have for me is a hockey picture. We're going to look at Tyler Florencio, I think, scoring his first goal.
Yes. So my really good friend, Tyler Tortuga Florencio, scored his first ever varsity goal. I believe it was on senior night against Melrose. We won that game. He hits it from, I don't know how to describe it, like a little past the blue line, and it goes right bar down into the net. I remember hearing the WCTV clip. All you hear is metal, clang, goal, and roar. So I was like, oh my God, that's my friend Tyler. So I'm taking like as many pictures as I can of that moment. And after I can't get a good angle, slapping the board, slapping the board, slapping the boards.
Excellent. Our next one is a lacrosse picture from last year. It's Michael Lawler and Cam Gray, I think, right? How did that one come about?
So that was against the Tech. It was a tough loss, but it was really high scoring. Cam and Michael, I believe, are really good friends. And that was kind of their game. Cam has siblings at the Tech. Michael has lots of friends at the Tech at that time. So it was just like kind of like an important game to them. Michael scores per usual, and then Cam congratulates him, and the two walk off.
Okay, so now these 4 pictures so far, 2 have been indoors and 2 have been outdoors. Mm-hmm. So picking up next, we go back indoor. This is a hockey picture. I think it's Bobby Sear scoring on senior night, correct?
Yes, correct. Again, same game as the Tyler picture against Melrose. I'm on the opposite side now. I'm usually in hockey, I'm behind the goal where we're trying to score, so behind the opponent. But this time I was coming down towards behind Tyler Marino, our keeper, and I was pure luck again. Bobby scores. He skates down the line, pumping his leg towards us, and I get the perfect photo.
Okay, and the next photo is, I was at this game actually because is a walk-off. Noah Spencer had a walk-off double to win the game. I think Connor Level scored.
Yes.
And it was just absolute pandemonium. I'm just impressed by this picture. You're actually on the field getting the picture. It was a phenomenal picture. How'd you get on the field? How'd that work?
So Connor hits the Noah hits the great hit, running around. The whole team collides at like around second base. And I'm thinking like, so this is it. We just won the game. It's basically like overtime in a way. So it was like really important to us against a tough Burlington team. I kind of walk on the field after everyone's distracted, and I get a perfect shot of it. And on screen, we can also throw the picture I have of Connor running and screaming. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, so we have 2 pictures we'll show there when we get it on for you. It was a baseball outdoor picture. Easier to photograph indoor or outdoor?
So given a better camera, outdoor isn't as hard, but indoor, it kind of depends on lighting of the situation. Some outdoor venues can have really good lighting, and then indoors can also have good lighting, so it depends.
Okay, our 7th and 8th pictures, we're going to get the females involved here, the girls' sports. This one here is a girls' tennis match with our number 1 player, Savannah Beecher. She was a freshman, and she was one of the top players in our league and state. So give me this. How did this take place? And is tennis actually easy to photography?
So tennis, to start off, is not very easy because the fence is always in the way. So I'm trying to find that perfect like inch of like leg room, basically. Where can I get the perfect photo without getting the fence in the way? So it might be one of the harder sports to photograph for me. But I remember Savannah, her freshman year, one of the most promising we've seen in a while. First singles. I know her serve is really good, so I was trying to get a good angle of it, and I got probably one of the best I've had for tennis. So that's probably one of my better pictures as well.
Okay, and our final picture that we have is, at least for this segment, is we go to outdoors again. Jill Collins soccer picture. Jill Collins, a senior captain, soccer. This looks like it's in more like a twilight area too.
Yeah. So I forget which game exactly, but it was home. It was recent, and it was during the rain. So I'm like hoodie off, over the camera, do anything for the shot at this point, and I get Jill walking towards, I think, her net after a a foul, and I get her perfectly just walking in the rain. Kind of sets an ambient mood. So probably one of my better portrait shots.
Good. So those are the 8 pictures that you've brought. I think there are a couple more we might talk about as we move forward. And if I can get those from Shiv, I'll put those up. Switching topics, not a little bit, but I asked this question of all the athletes, and I'd be interested because you've been on the sidelines, you've seen this happen, you've seen the interaction. As a high school coach, my question to you is, what advice would you give as a photographer to the high school coach, to any coach, not just me, but any coach, what advice would a photographer would you give after you've seen everything you've seen now this year?
So to the coach, I think the one thing I could say would be just let the students, let the athletes know that this is their game to win, and let them know that the atmosphere around them, small or big, they always have fans in there supporting them, expecting a big game. Win or loss, they want a good game out of them. So just give them more motivation and say, like, this is your game to fight for, so fight for it. So I think just getting the players in the right mindset, realizing that this game is theirs, and recognizing the atmosphere.
Excellent answer. Appreciate that. What's something you've learned that you went into this blind? Really, what's the biggest thing that you've learned from this experience?
Biggest thing I've learned is that no hobby is easy to pick up, and that if you fail once, like I did fall season of last year, if you fail, you always just have to try again and see how you can better yourself. Learn from your mistakes. Okay,
good. And how do we? You're very popular because we had Shiv Shot It. We got the Instagram. You're in a lot of different publications that high school's done. How do we continue this when you leave? You're going to be leaving this year. You're a senior.
Yes.
Hopefully following your sister's footsteps at the old Temple University, my alma mater. I had to get that one in.
Consider it.
How do we grow the program? Are there younger students that are looking forward to helping you do this?
Yeah, so personally, I'm kind of bummed I'm leaving. I really wish I started this my freshman year. I would get so many more athletes and current college athletes. I would build such a wider audience. But other than that, currently I've been training a few underclassmen from juniors to sophomore, freshmen. Even a few middle schoolers have shown interest. And I'm just showing them what it's like a day in the life, what it's like to be me. Like go on the field, know the players, know who you're shooting, why you're shooting, and what you're looking for. So I'm just training them to take over because, like I said earlier, I feel like I made a difference. I want that difference to continue. I want like a culture, essentially, of Wilmington athletics to feel more like vibrant, if you will. Like it's much more appreciated.
Is there anybody on the bench ready to go? Are you training anybody?
So 2 people I can think of right now. Dennis Rapucci, he's a current sophomore, and a current junior, Giovanni Aliperta. I always give him rides to the football games. I always get a camera for him, and he's my prodigy, if you could say that.
There you go. That's good. And before we start the individual questions, last year you were honored by the athletic department with the Larry McGrath Award. Mm-hmm. Explain what that award is, and were you shocked, and how did it play out?
So currently hanging up in my room right now, let me think. It regards like your distinguished service and appreciation for the athletics. And so Mr. Ingram at the senior, I believe, scholarship and athletic awards ceremony last year, he had requested me to take photos for it. I was like, sure, I'll be there as always. And he emailed my parents on the side. So he said, I'm having your son take photos at this event, but we're planning on giving him an award. So do you think you could come here in the stand? So my parents made up an excuse. Hey, we're meeting a teacher for a field trip for him at the time, Ireland trip. And they was like, oh, we got over in 10 seconds. I go into the gym. I hear my name for the Larry McGrath Award, Siobhan Perowith, and my parents, I see them. Everyone in the stands gets loud. That might have been the loudest that gym was during that night.
I will say that you couldn't have gotten, we as in athletics at Wilmington, couldn't have gotten a better recipient of that award for everything you had done. So from me, congratulations on winning that award. It's a nice honor for somebody to do that. Things that you stepped up and do. Now comes really my favorite part of this. I get the who is Shiv Shot It. Where I should be calling you the right name, but I love that Shiv Shot It. I'm in love with it. What did you learn the most? Who did you learn the most about photography from?
So photography itself, I can give 3 quick names. Mr. Fionti, the camera teacher at our school. Ali Abukal, graduated senior, really helped me with lighting, understanding different settings. And then WCTV here as a whole has been probably one of the biggest helps to me. They always give me such good equipment to rent, to use here and there. And they also, whatever videographer they have at the event, they're always so kind, respectful, and they always talk to me about how I can improve. And it's just normal conversations. I've made friends through them. Very good, very good. And we appreciate that you give them the shout out to the station. Of course.
What have you learned on the field? What have you learned in the field, in the field at the rink that you can apply to the classroom?
What have I learned? I've learned that leadership doesn't just come from your captain. It comes from the players who surround you, whether it's picking up a teammate after a big hit, supporting them after a failure on the field or whatnot. Just supporting those around you boosts the team as a whole. So translate that into the classroom, translate that into my daily life, anything. It's an important aspect to take in.
All right, and where have your pictures appeared? You take a picture and you do a great job. Where have they shown up?
So first is anytime I get a picture, I don't upload it to my drive for a week. That's just me. Very late, very tardy. But then first place I'll post it is my Instagram at shiv.shot.it. And then I also run this new business called 978 Media, starting to pick it up. So two things there on Instagram. I'll sometimes dual post on Facebook. I love seeing all the moms just comment on it. Great pics, thumbs up, cat emoji, very random. But then other than that, Boston Globe, I've submitted my photos. They've used them. I appreciate it. And Mr. Ingram, our AD, uses them sometimes on the athletics update and the new Wildcat app. So
Good. Other sports or indoor activities you do at the high school? What do you do?
So I played soccer until my junior year. Was never too good at it. Thought that it's not just me dropping soccer. It's me allocating my time to a better use of it. So I quit soccer. I picked up photography. I do DECA, the business club. I really enjoy it. And other than that, I'm not that
You're a
involved.
class officer?
Yes, I am a class officer. Thank you. I'm the secretary for the class of 2025. I try to make Instagram posts, try to do announcements every day for those who need it. So, yeah, I am pretty involved, I'd say.
Good. What's your favorite moment of your senior, so far of your junior, senior, not just taking a picture? What's your favorite all-time moment so far?
I think it might have been graduation of last year. I felt really like I was taking photos there, but I felt really warm on the inside because I feel like I made a family. I have a family, a support behind me, whether it be graduated seniors, my own grade, or even underclassmen. I'm really popular among them, I'd say, and it warms my heart that I've made a difference and that people value and appreciate me. I was never like an unknown person or very introverted. I was always a little there, but now I feel like I'm actually out there. I'm not popular, but I'm known among people.
Okay, not that I want to interrupt the thought process here, but what is we talked about 8 pictures. Other than those 8, what's your favorite picture you've taken? It might be the most favorite. What would that be?
So I have 3 photos that come in mind.
Okay.
One was the Mikey Otis basketball picture.
Okay.
One was the Connor Lovell Burlington walk-off baseball game photo. And then the third one might be Bobby Sear, graduated senior of lacrosse last year. He scores a big-time goal in a home game. He looks right at the camera and screams, and I get the perfect shot of it.
Perfect. What are you going to miss the most?
I'm going to miss the people, I'd say. Because photography I can use anywhere. I can use it everywhere I want to. But I'm not going to have the same people, the underclassmen, the parents, the fans, the band, the coaches, the student athletes, anyone, faculty at the high school. I won't have them supporting me. And it's like a part of me is leaving when I leave the high school. Like, I really intend to come back here and see how can I still make a difference, if I can talk to any old friends, do some photos for the players. But I want to stay involved with high school.
Okay, if there were walk-up songs for photographers, and honestly, I think we should do it at the Powder Puff game, what's your walk-up song going to be? Shiv, shot it, da-da-da-bum.
It's going to be Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. I use it in lots of my hockey posts and football graphics, game days. Might be the most hype song I have.
Okay, and what's the future hold for Shiv?
TBD, sorry. Yeah, to be decided. I don't really know. I want to go to college for engineering. I want to stay local, Northeast, so I can come back, visit my parents, visit my friends, not too far from home. And my goal, real quick, Northeastern. Great programs, great sports to photograph, and I can come right home whenever I need to.
Okay, and now comes another good fun part of the program here, because Shiv has really impressed me with everything he's done. And it's great to have I'm not calling a non-athlete, somebody who's not in a sports, in the sport, covering the sport. So you're going to get to give yourself a shout out, not yourself. You give a shout out to whoever you want. Honestly, don't miss anybody, because if they watch, they say, Shiv, why don't you shout me out? I don't want you to list there are people like the dog you like, or your parents. Don't forget anybody. So you're going to look right into that camera right there, and you're going to shout at anybody you want. Ready, Shiv? Go get them, bud.
I like my friends Aiden Balter, Connor Lovell. Really, 2 big friends I have are really important to me. My mom, my dad, my sister, always supporting me. Like I said, Mr. Fianti, Ali Abukal, and Mr. Ingram always supporting me from the sidelines. Mr. Gendron has always been really supportive of me as well. You, Mr. Boyle, for having me here. Lots of teachers of the high school. I can't name them. I can't name single ones because I'll forget. I don't want to make anyone feel bad. My friends in general, too. Anyone who supported me along the way. My fans, almost 750 of them on Instagram, I love them all. They support me. They like my stories. They like my posts. Share it. It really means the world to me. And WCTV again. They lend me their supplies sometimes. It feels really good using such nice, high quality equipment. And other than that, can't really think of anyone else. Well,
Shiv, you hit it out of the park with that one. All right, way to cover everybody. It's great having you on. Like I said, I think we do. I really think what you've brought to the program for the athletic program at the high school and just to the high school in general is just a different feel.
yeah.
And just as from a guy who's been involved in athletics his whole life, who can't really take pictures too well, at least my kids tell me, I really think what you're doing is great, and it's been great having you on. So I'm going to make sure I get the name correct this time because I haven't messed up yet. So it's Shivam Purohit.
Yes.
I just got this. So Shivam Purohit. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for coming in and everything else. So for Wildcat Sports Update, I'm your host, Jim Boyle, and we'll see you on down the road.